Hello, lovelies. Welcome to Magical Me. I'm Jamie Mendez, spiritual intuitive and oracle, and I'm here with my weekly Moonday Oracle Message. So before I really go into explaining what it is that you can expect to find here today, I'm going to just take a few moments and make sure that I'm connecting okay, everybody can hear me clearly, and just give it a moment or two. And I actually want to unplug my microphone quickly. Okay. Hi, Lori. Welcome. Thanks for being here. So those of you who are tuning in, if you don't mind just giving me a little bit of feedback on the sound quality today, just making sure that you are able to hear me and that there are no problems with the video. And then I'll wait to begin to share it. I'm also not seeing any comments yet either, so I really want to wait because I noticed that there have been times where I can't see comments, and that kind of tells me, there's a glitch or something. And Jillian, welcome, beautiful. Awesome. I saw her comment, so we're good to go. Sounds great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Welcome, 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 everyone, and thank you so much for being here. For those of you who are new to Moonday, I'm just going to briefly go over how you can expect, or what you can expect to find here. Hi, Annie. Welcome. Oh, good. Thank you. I'm just going to go ahead and share this, though, really quickly. I should probably do that then before I get into the explanation of it. So just bear with me one moment. I hope that you are all having a wonderful moon day and that you had a fantastic weekend. Okay. One more. And done. All right. You noticed, huh? The black and the white. Yeah, absolutely. I actually tried to wear purple today because I was really feeling the energy of purple, or at least I wanted purple, and I couldn't. It was all about the black and the white today, so not surprising. I'm going to talk all about that on the energy forecast. Hello, Laura. Welcome and thank you for being here. Okay, so anybody who is new to my page, every Monday or so, I do try to go live. Monday is Moon Day, the designated day at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, although that does fluctuate a little bit depending on my circumstances and divine timing. So I like to go live to bring forward a message of guidance for all of us for the week. And it's really just universal or divine advice, if you will, just to give us a better understanding and awareness of what the theme energetically might be for the week and how we can best get in alignment with that energy, what we really need to know, and having that awareness really giving us that heads up or that power to be able to work in harmonious flow versus kind of swimming blindly against the energy current and creating a little bit of a challenge or resistance for us. So giving us that awareness that we all, that we all need. These messages are more generalized. They are not personal readings that I'm doing here today. They're a generalized overview. I do call in the essence of the divine and what most needs to come through. I use that with my own intuitive abilities as well as the oracle cards, and I kind of intuitively draw from a specific deck that really is kind of jumping up to me that wants to work with us. So again, these are all very generalized. This is going to be a reading for the week of April 12th 2021. And it really, though, I set the intention that anybody who is meant to hear this message, you're going to be here in exact divine timing. So that means it doesn't matter if you're watching this live. It does not matter if you're watching this months from now and just so happen to stumble upon the replay. You are here in exact divine timing. And this message will resonate with you in a way that is unique according to your own path and your own journey and what you most need to hear at that present moment. All right. So again, not personal readings that I'm doing here today. It's just a generalized overview of the week for all of us as a collective. So what I do first is I talk about any news and announcements that I have going on here at Magical Me, but with, between classes or workshops or specials, and over at my sister business, Oracles of the Light, as well. So I kind of take the opportunity to talk about both of them. And then I go into what I refer to as my energy forecast or empathy forecast. And that allows me to talk about anything that I might have been intuitively feeling or noticing around me that might apply to you and might give you a bit of a heads up or deeper insight into what might be going on as well around you or with you. Also, I take that opportunity to talk about any important astrological or planetary alignments that are like sticking out to us for this week specifically, or something that's coming in that's going to have an impact or influence on us. And then from there, I go into the Moonday Message, which I then again call forward a message using oracle cards for our highest and greatest good, what we most need to know for the week. And I intuit that again with my own intuitive abilities. As I am clairsentient is my biggest ability, I should say, my biggest gift, which is the ability to clearly feel. So it allows me to intuitively feel, and as well as I'm clairvoyant, clairaudient, and claircognizant ability to just be able to connect in and receive these divine messages. So it's guidance, advice, all right? No fortune telling going on here. Also, then after that, I do work with a mudra that will assist us in really facilitating any energy that needs to really be activated, awoken within us, any healing. And we'll talk more about mudras when we get there. So let me just take a moment to say hello and welcome to everybody tuning in. Alexandra, Karen, Elise, welcome, beautiful soul. Meredith, welcome. Annie. See if there's anybody else I missed. Tina, welcome. Okay, I think. Hey, Linz. Welcome, love. Lara, welcome, beautiful soul. Thank you all for being here. I'm so happy you're able to make it. I have missed you all. I've been off for it's been 2 weeks since the last moon day, as I had to take a week off after last week's moon day. It was rather interesting. Before I get into all of that, I'll just quickly go over news and announcements. Hello, Eleanor, welcome. So there's not a whole lot to really announce today. There's not a lot going on. And once you hear the energy forecast, you'll probably hear why. Between myself, Magical Me here, and Oracles of the Light. But what I will say is that I do have, we're always offering our regular Oracle card readings between, I offer them here. I also offer them, and with my business partners, Karen and Lindsay at Oracles of the Light, available at any time. Those readings happen remotely. They do happen either through a live video chat or through a video recorded reading that can be sent over to you privately. So those are at any time. We're always offering our in-person as well as remote healing sessions as well. So if you're interested, you always check out those services. But I do have a Yusoi Reiki Level 2 in-person training class coming up on May 1st. The event has been created for that. So if you are local to this area and you would like to participate in that, if you've trained with me for level 1, even if you've trained with someone else for level 1, as long as you have your credentials to show me that, you can absolutely attend that in-person class if interested. There is a cutoff, a deadline to register. I do believe it is the week of the 20th at some point. I can't remember the exact date. So definitely if you're interested, you might want to hop on that and reach out to me and let me know. If you are not local to my area and you want to take Reiki Level 2 with me, if you've already gotten your Level 1, I do offer Level 1 and Level 2 online in a pre-recorded class and training in a private group on Facebook with all, documents, videos, step-by-step instructions, everything. And then so you can watch that at any time. I mean, it's always available for level 1 or level 2. And then we would schedule your attunement, which is the energetic exchange and ritual that is what opens you up to become a vessel for energy healing. So if you're interested in doing that, then we would schedule that privately and have a one-on-one video session, and we would do it that way. All right, so always available for that. Also, I am teaching an in-person level 1 class again May 15th. So obviously, you've got some time with that, so not to worry. But that's just if you're interested. Other than that, for the month of April, there's not a lot going on. But I will say that I just put out yesterday a recorded, guided meditative journey, as well as light language transmission in this meditative journey that is incredibly potent and powerful. So how it actually all came about was, it actually goes into the energy forecast, is on Friday. I just received this massive download and wave of energy. And as I tuned into it, I actually began to see that it really had to do with connecting into the black ray and the black flame. And this was, it came through almost in the form of visions, and almost I could see that this was going to be a meditative process, a meditative journey to go through. And so I had bits of an idea, and then I thought, okay, well, at some point in time, I'll work with this and, go further with it. I did not expect to work with it right then and there. Try as I might to do anything else that I needed to throughout the morning, I couldn't. I just kept getting pulled right back in, and it definitely has the energy of the Divine Mother, the sacred creatrix, as well as the divine goddess Isis as well. It is about death and rebirth and alchemical magic of resurrection. It's incredibly powerful. And so again, I just sat down and was record this thing. And I recorded it in one session. And it's about a 50-minute meditation. And there were really that just never happens. So it was amazing, so powerful. And then I had the honor to actually do my own guided meditative journey on the dark moon energy the other night. And I did that with a couple of my soul sisters, and it was incredible. So I'm so happy that I have this recorded. I am offering this now. It should be shared. It's already shared on my page as well as on my personal page. You'll see an icon for it with a scarab beetle at the top, and it is, again, it's called the Chamber of the Black Flame. And again, it's about 50 minutes long. I am offering it for $22. It is, once you pay, you get automatically sent right over to download. It comes right through your email, and so you do have that file to listen to over and over and over again. And at the end of the meditation, as you're going through the journey, there is an alchemical transformation that happens, and with the light language transmission that comes in. So throughout this process, you are journeying into basically into the void, into that sacred creatrix energy, and really spiraling into 7 different alchemical chambers of healing, facing different aspects of yourself that are ready to release, because it is about the process, the metaphoric process of death, and really letting all that is no longer serving you, that cannot go with you, preventing you from transcendence. It's about allowing all of that to really to fall away, to die, if you will. And then you basically go through this, again, this transformation of resurrection energy, and are really rebirthed anew. And it's profound. So I can't say enough about it. So again, that is available now. If you are interested, again, you can find it on my page. You can always send me a message if you can't find it. It's $22, and the meditation is yours to keep and work with as often as you feel you need to. Okay. So thank you, Lindsay. Yes, Lindsay actually participated in it with me. So appreciate that, sweetie. Hey, Meredith. Yes, it's amazing. I think that you really love that. I did share it in our Spiral Temple community group as well. See if I missed anything. Oh, Angela. Oh, yes, Angela actually did purchase it, and she experienced it. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I look forward to hearing your feedback on it. For sure. Oh, yeah. The Ankh. Yes, thank you for noticing. Yeah, very, very, very connected into the energy and the black and the white. So I'm going to go into that as well, because that really does play into all of this. So as I talked about, we're going into with that meditation, connecting into the energy of the black flame, which is the more physical. I don't know if I really want to use that word physical, but more of the lower octave of the higher octave of the black ray. So again, the alchemical, it's also about magic and ritual, if you will. But again, it's about helping us to go into that process of transmuting negative energies, not just energies, but like densities that you're carrying, programs, limiting beliefs, old patterning DNA. I mean, this is powerful. And then you've got the energy of the white, which is the rebirthing energy. So there's been this really strong energy of balance lately with the white and the black, specifically the white and the black ray. And then, so it's just the birthing of the light. We have just moved beyond the energy of, or the time of Easter, which is the literal resurrection energy, but also incredibly symbolic energy for all of us as we move through that energy every year. This year is incredibly significant, more so than any other year, I'm going to say. And the reason that I can say that is because it really has to do with it's a whole lot, and I don't want to be here all night talking about it, but what I can just briefly go into is that this year with the resurrection energy, I don't know how familiar any of you are with like the Cathars from, a few, they existed for, a few hundred years ago was when they were kind of, unfortunately or sadly, like, I'm going to use these quotes here and say wiped out, because they really were not fully wiped out. I mean, obviously there were those that have survived. But with, the final battle or massacre of the Cathars, and these were people who were like very much in alignment with or the lineage of the ancient Essenes or the Essenes, and brought forward the power of love and the power of the Christ light, and so very much in alignment with Mary Magdalene and Yeshua or Jesus' teachings as well. So about 777 years ago, there was a prophecy made with the Cathars that they would return, and so too would love and light on the planet. Just to kind of keep it short and simple there for you. So 2021 is the 777th year anniversary of that prophecy being made. So it is this year that birthing of love on the planet is coming, is coming back, and it goes into alignment with, the whole new earth energy, this new golden age that we're moving into. So very, very powerful year, I will say, for resurrection energy, more so than any other. So yes, incredibly powerful. If you're interested, that is available. Hello, Sherry. Derek, welcome. Thanks for popping in. Just still talking about news and or the energy forecast is what I'm really going into now. So that's pretty much it as far as offerings go. Now, as far as the energy forecast goes, so right after Moonday, I had a dream, and in the dream, you heard me last Moonday talking about my dream, 2 weeks ago, talking about my one dream that I had, which was talking about too much heat in the body, too much yang or fire energy, which is, I equated that to, one, I was shown with the root chakra and that purge that we were going to be going through, as well as I saw something coming in with the third eye chakra at the same time to help activate us and awaken us into higher planes of consciousness. And that night I went to sleep and I had a dream. And so somewhere in between Monday night, Tuesday morning, I had a dream that I was actually bit by a snake in my dream. And, when I woke up, I immediately knew that it was some sort of an activation, but that, because of the fact that a lot of, I equate snakes and serpent energy with like, healing and rebirth and resurrection because of their ability to shed their skin, right? And you heard me talking about there's 2 weeks ago, for those of you who tuned in, I started having lots of like crazy peeling and shedding. It almost looked like shedding skin on my lips, which was just really out of the blue. So that night I was bit by a snake in my dream, and the next morning, Tuesday morning, I had woken up feeling a little off. I had this also symbolic message regarding it, that it definitely had to do with representing of like the old reptilian, like distorted reptilian energy and like DNA that we carry, that just can no longer go with us, you know, and that serpent was coming in to activate like the good DNA, like the good reptilian. And there is a difference, which I'm not going to go into here today. It'll be a lot. But just so you know, there is a difference. And activating basically like our ancient 12 strands of DNA, which is, we're currently in the process, so is Mother Earth. We're going through this ascension. But I felt off. And then sure enough, by the end of Tuesday, I just went into full blown like third eye purge, and I was having like my eyes were watering like crazy. I was sneezing like crazy. Anything that your third eye chakra would rule in the physical was draining. And I just got really clouded, very like congested in my head. And it so much fire and heat only in my head, nowhere else in my body, to the point that I was like, I might have like a fever because it's so hot. I cannot, and it's only my face and my head. So much so that my eyes were so hot that they would just water and water and water. So I would obviously take my temperature, no fever. It was only all in my head. And I knew intuitively that this was a spiritual cleanse happening, a detox with that third eye chakra, which was activated by the snake biting me in the dream. So very interesting. So that really kind of like forced me to just be. But while I was going through this, I was having all kinds of magical intuitive messages and dreams happening. So I was really going through this alchemical transformation, being activated and elevated into that higher plane of consciousness that I've been talking about on Moonday. So it was about 5 days like that. And then, you know, just all of a sudden, just, you know, good again, you know. But I was still feeling very like I just needed to kind of like, first of all, I had to catch up on everything that I'd kind of postponed and put off. But at the same time, I was just really hearing like, this is important. You really need to be in the stillness. Because even though I got better, I still had fire energy in my head, and still it comes and goes. It's like all that heat that I was talking about that I had received in my dream. Sure enough, I read something from an astrologer about the energy of April, and it said in the first half of April, because we are in the sign of Aries, first half of April was going to be focused on all of like the fire element of the yang energy. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I kept on reading, and it said the second half of April was going to be all about bringing in the yin energy of, you know, the water element of the feminine. And I just about fell over, because I was like, oh my God, this is exactly the messages that I've been receiving. Even some of you may have seen the symbol I received during that downtime, which is incredibly powerful, about the masculine and the feminine serpent, or serpents, that Kundalini Shakti energy there, rising. So the masculine element rising to meet the cooling element of the feminine, bringing that divine union or spark of life, if you will. So it was very, very powerful activation symbol, and some of you worked with it already, some of you have seen it, but if you haven't, you go scrolling through my page here, you will find it there. So again, lots of incredible, like, and it's funny because while I was going through that, even though I wasn't actually sick, it was definitely, I would say if I had to apply it to an actual like physical condition or ailment, it was sinuses and like hay fever, because the sneezing and the watering eyes were just nonstop. Set aside the fact that the pollen is at an all-time high right now, and the winds, the solar winds we've had have been like crazy. But putting, you know, I could see from the higher perspective what was going on. But even though, you know, I was feeling like that, you know, I was just, it wasn't that serious, you know, like it wasn't that serious, but I knew intuitively I was going through what we would refer to as a death, a metaphoric death. And I could feel it. I just felt like all of that drainage that was happening was all of that just basically having been dissolved and breaking down. If you think about what happens when a serpent or snake bites its prey, right, with its venom, what the venom does is it goes into the animal's body and immediately begins to break down and dissolve all of their bones, all of their, their organs, making them much more, this, so sorry that this is pretty graphic, but liquefied so that the snake can actually consume them, right? So look at what was happening. All this stuff was pouring out of me. So I knew what it was. And then bam, I started having the energy of like the black ray come in, the black flame, and really embracing that and working with that. I was working with the creatrix energy of the void, the divine mother. So it's about that 0 point. And that's exactly where that meditation takes you. It's that place of 0 point where you are completely surrendered, completely primed and vulnerable to be able to let go, to fully transcend and then rise, which is the light of the white energy, right? That holy flame, that holy fire type of energy, that rebirth energy. So there has been this whole theme the past week or so of death and rebirth, that transformational energy, and in an alchemical process and mutation. So really powerful time of, and I've noticed even with this particular new moon that we had yesterday and the dark moon prior to that, even without, like, it triggered that meditation for me. But even without having, had that, all the people around me were experiencing lots of shadowy stuff coming up to the surface for them. And a lot of people reporting, like, feeling like a lot of their shadows and, fears and lots of things that were coming up to just be, like, worked with or acknowledged or released were coming up to the surface, making it very heavy for a lot of people. So you may have been experiencing that, and you may have been experiencing the purge that we talked about with the root chakra 2 weeks ago, as well as experiencing something even with the third eye chakra. And so, yeah, this has really been about realigning to a higher vibration and again, that plane of consciousness. So yeah, very, very powerful time. And if you've been experiencing any of those feelings, like the darker, heavier ones, I mean, this is what this new moon in Aries is like, that, that fiery energy that was like the catalyst to help us to really be reborn, to really move through this energy. Now, this week, what we have coming up is that's at least notable and significant. And the reason that I say that it is more so because I actually received intuitive glyphs. Every day when I meditate, I receive sigils and glyphs and symbols, and it's, Spirit kind of gives me the tasks of working out the message that comes along with that, or whatever its alchemical remedy or ingredients are or something. So I received the glyphs of Taurus, and I was like, okay, well, at that time when I actually received it, obviously there wasn't really anything in my particular chart that was significant regarding Taurus, and nothing really going on significant at the time of Taurus, but I was working with Venus energy. And so sure enough, Venus moves into the sign of on the 14th of this week. So that's a big deal, because now we just had this masculine fiery energy all just happen, right? Where we got the temperature so hot, which is the heat of the alchemy that's necessary for transmutation or transformation, the alterance of something into a higher state, right? So now we have the sign of Taurus, which is earth energy, but it is connected to Venus. It is connected to, Tauran energy is very much about that heart chakra, an open heart and open love. And then you have Venus, which, and Taurus being very much connected to, like, again, Aphrodite energy and that Venusian loving energy. Then you've got Venus, which does rule over relationships, romance, as well as finances. You're bringing this into a place where it's very comfortable, where it's very much at home. So we've got the earth energy, which to me represents the stability and something kind of coming. It's much more feminine energy coming in now. So you can see it's almost like the build up, the precursor that's awakening us to that yin energy now starting to come in and bring in that divine balance necessary here. The rising of the yin energy. So with that, I feel like it's going to be significant for us all, because I do feel like Venus and Taurus is going to bring a lot of awareness into our relationship with these areas. So our relationship with home, because Taurus, to me with the earthy energy, it just gives me that strong energy of home. And like, also love and relationships. So our relationships with others, and possibly not solely romantic, but romantic included, but also relationships with like, our family, our children, our mother, our father, our sisters, our brothers, and relationships even with friends, but also more importantly, the relationship with self. So really bringing up things to address a more harmonious balance, and what you can do to bring things more into a harmonious balance with these particular relationships. But also because Venus is rules finances as well. Now we're also going to bring awareness into your relationship with money, because that's important. If you have a love-hate relationship with money, or you love to have money, or then the fear of lack of money, this is going to come up some way for you, and it's important for you to recognize that there's no such thing as a lack, and recognizing any lack, wounding, or programs or patterns that you're carrying regarding love, feeling loved, loving self, loving others, having others love you. Also regarding the love of money, and how do you have that relationship with your love of money? Is it you love it as an exchange in a way that it represents a form of love? Or is it that you just love to have money because you love to be able to, in a greed aspect? Or is it that you love to have money because it keeps you comfortable, because you think that that's what you need in order to be comfortable, and that money is what makes that happen, and that's not the truth, So it's about really bringing this up to awareness. So it's going to come up in some way this week, and so it's important to have all this awareness, because it helps you refocus and redirect, and recognize that connection. Now, also in the same sense, this can trigger a lot of love energy and sensuality, and it's bringing awareness to our physical body with the energy of Taurus and the earth, because earth represents our physical body. So now it's bringing awareness to your relationship with your own body, with the way that you treat your body, with what you put into your body, and with how you view your body. Also coming back into maybe your softer sensuality and sexuality versus the distorted masculine, and I don't mean men, okay? So let's just make this clear. Masculine energy, when something is distorted, whether it's feminine or masculine, it creates an imbalance. But we have had a very distorted perception of sexuality, and it does have to do with the patriarchal and distorted masculine view and vision of sexuality and sensuality, whether it be in men or women. So it's about really coming back into more of a healthy relationship with yourself and with your body, and really ensuring that also that you are taking care of your body and loving your body and honoring your body and thanking your body for being your vessel, for taking care and housing your soul. So it's important to nurture that. And so lots of coming up for reflection this week. This could also be stimulating some incredibly flirtatious, sensual, seductive type of energy this week. So be mindful that you're not getting swept up into romanticism. That when the shoe drops, you're not like, oh no, what did I get myself into here? So being very discerning. Discernment is key. It's very relevant going forward, no matter what. Discernment in all things. But you could also expect maybe possibly to have some good sparks in that department as well coming in this week. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But very loving, flowing, peaceful vibes coming in with that. All right. So I think that's pretty much it regarding the energy forecast and what I think is really notable for us, and what might be mindful. And again, remembering at the end of the day that we are always infinitely supported, that we are love, we come from love. There is no lack, there's no shortage. Love is everything. Love is you. You are love. And that it's important at the end of the day that you are honoring yourself and loving yourself, and knowing that only you complete you. Also regarding money, there is no shortage when you understand that you are infinite, you are infinitely abundant. That is the energy of the mother energy, the abundance, the infinite abundance of her, that there is no lack. Okay, so remembering that helps to shift everything else. All right. All right, so with that said, we're going to go ahead and we are going to go into the Moonday message. But I just want to make sure everything is still good. I see people, like it's showing me people coming in and out, in and out, in and out, like the same names over and over again. So I don't know if there's anything going on glitch wise. I'm so sorry if there is, but I just want to make sure everybody is still able to hear me and I am still able to see comments. So if anybody can just shoot a comment in right now, just let me know. Thank you, Rose Maria. Awesome. I did see it. Perfect. All right. Just wanted to make sure. Like I said, I might have the PTSDs regarding Facebook Lives because it just, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. So, all right. So with that said, speaking of all this fire and yin and, energy and the alchemy, I was really drawn to working with a newer deck that I have. I haven't gotten to work with this too much. Here and there I have. I think I may have used it once on Moonday before, and it is the Elemental Oracle by Stacey DeMarco, and it is all about alchemy, science, and magic, and it's a really interesting, fun deck. Okay. So thank you, everybody. I so appreciate that. All right. So before I pull the card, let's just come into sacred space together. Okay. So I'm just going to ask you to, because we are sharing space here energetically, we are connecting. Just going to ask you all to kind of disconnect from, obviously still have that mindfulness in the background, especially let's say you've got anything on the stove. Somebody must, because for me to just see that in my mind, obviously just disconnect as much as you can, because we're just going to come into that space of being in the present moment. Just taking a nice cleansing deep breath in through your nose and just relax, breathing the breath out, dropping your mind into your heart center, coming into this present space of here and now. All right. So let's ask for the divine guidance and insight into the energy of this week of April 12th, 2021, and what we all most need to know. So I may have already done our Moonday message, guys. So the card is a 15, which is a 6, which is what? The number of Venus. It is connected into the planet Venus and the energy of higher love and divine love. So that's really interesting. 6 is also the number that is associated with truth and illumination and enlightenment as well. So again, taking something, having an epiphany moment, revelations, and again with this energy of Venus in Taurus, I definitely feel like it's going to be bringing some things in those particular areas up to our awareness to assist us in, refocusing, or where we can be doing things differently and how we can shift our perception surrounding those areas, if you will. Okay. So again, 6 being that number of higher love at the same time. So the card itself is home, and it says earth. Look at that. And this beautiful woman here that to me represents that, deeply feminine energy here, deeply kind of like mothering energy, which is interesting because what she's wearing on her head is like this whole wrap of fruit. Yeah, it's like, it looks like apples to me, which, apples are very much that symbol of remembering, and awakening, contrary to what we've all been taught to believe about the apple. Very much about remembering who you are and awakening. It's also about it's been that program of temptation, but I don't see it in a negative sense. I see it as like, go ahead and eat the fruit, allow yourself to indulge a little bit, allow yourself to, to fully taste it, to feel it, to be in it, and to enjoy it, instead of having that taboo fear that comes up surrounding it. But also is represents fertility. The apple in the Garden of Eden was actually on the world tree, or the tree of life. So the apple being that symbol of wisdom and immortality, infinite knowledge, and again being infinitely supplied for, as you just having this abundant fruit at your I don't want to say your beck and call, but like really at your fingertips, and then having the seeds within it to plant anew and to continuously nurture yourself, to continuously have what it is that you need. So again, the infinite abundance that I just talked about is what's coming forward with this card here, and the infinite abundance of the Divine Mother energy, which is like you are always cared for, you are always protected, but also that creatrix energy, which is that is you. You are a sacred co-creator, creatrix energy here, having the power to create your own reality and the reality that we all exist in as the one. So remembering that part of it is about, remember what you are, what you think, right? We create what we fear. We create what we love. So it's important to, what am I creating? What am I putting and focusing my energy on? And also removing the illusion of lack, knowing that you are always provided for and that you are always able to create more. There will always be more. And there will always be enough to go around for everybody. So then you have the, and the card itself says home. So it does make me feel like, what is home for you? Not necessarily, could be your literal physical home, and bringing your awareness and how can you bring more love and more positive energy into your home and into, your decor, or into just the energy of it. Could you bring more like crystals that have more of like a divine love, harmonious vibes? Could you bring more candles that are, more natural candles that have, let's say, connection to fragrances or flower essences that are more loving, so what is it you have? You want to bring more love, more security into your life. You bring something that makes you more comfortable into your home, because, as within, so without, as without, so within, so it's about really bringing that awareness into your home and what is home for you, what feels like home. And again, this could be like, what feels right? What feels right for you this week when making decisions and choices? Because again, as we go through this period of death and rebirth that we've been talking about, we are still in, we are also being asked to let go of some things. There's some things that are ready to fall away, that they've served their purpose. Doesn't have to be terrible and tumultuous. It could be being released in love. So it's also bringing your awareness to that. So, when it comes to making decisions at the end of the day, what feels good? What feels right? Not what is the status quo, what are others going to say, what are others going to think, what is that person going to think? I don't want to hurt anybody, I don't want to upset anybody. But this is about, what feels good for you. This is about you, honoring you, right? So bringing your awareness into home life in some way, and what feels good and what feels home. And also the Taurian energy is really about nature. They're very connected into nature, very much about, it is Mother Earth energy. So this is like Mother Earth right here, right? So we've got Taurus energy screaming loudly at us right now. This looks like a portal of light around her. At first I thought this was like water and waves, but to me actually, and it could be, but it still looks like it's creating a portal of light. So it's like there's this new energy, this new vitality and renewal that's coming in to really give us the opportunity to make important and essential changes in our lifestyle, within ourselves, and within everything around us. But I also feel like it's saying, like, it's not just about, it's obviously we have a major role in the changes that happen and whether the good that comes into our life. It has a lot to do with us. We do have a part to play in that. But also I do feel like it's saying, like, there's a portal doorway that's just opening for us, this resurrection energy that's there, that is really just allowing us to step into a new way, to step into that higher plane of consciousness that allows us to live in accordance with the life we want to live, that you do not have to suffer. You do not have to live a life that does not feel good All right. So I do really feel like that's what's coming forward, connecting more into nature. I also feel like part of that energy of what you want to bring more of what you want to bring more into your life, bringing nature to you too. So like, for example, today I was actually shown, when working with a client, I was actually shown a flower being inserted into their sacral chakra. And at first I thought that was strange to see. And then, the flower itself was an orchid. And I work a little bit with flower magic. And so I immediately remembered that orchids are connected to sensuality and sexuality, but they're very soft and delicate. So it's not in the understanding that the distorted masculine understanding of sexuality. It's about awakening that Shakti, sexual yin energy, that goddess energy, male or female. It doesn't matter, because even the men have that sacral fire, that flame. And so it is about activating that and being comfortable with, but in a softer, loving sexuality, sensuality sort of way. So I feel like also, so whatever it is that you're trying to, that you want to bring more into your life, you could bring in connecting, establishing your lines of interconnectedness with nature as well. That you are nature, nature is you, how you can co-create and work together by, let's say I want to bring more of a balanced sensuality and sexuality into my life. Maybe I want to go out and buy some orchids and bring them into my home, bring them into my bedroom if that's where I need more of that. Maybe with the energy, of just love, you want to just bring more of like a nurturing, compassionate sort of love. Maybe you want to go out and get a nice piece of like rose quartz and bringing that into your home in some way, or, getting yourself a nice necklace with rose quartz or something, or, maybe bringing it to a person in your life that is in need of a little bit more of that. And again, you can work with different plants, different, flowers and whatnot to connect with nature in that way. And even taking flower essences is wonderful as well. So really beautiful message. I'm really excited about this message this week, and really establishing. And I do also feel like the earth element is also telling us that remember we talked about 2 weeks ago with the root chakra Moonday. And those of you who did not see that message, go back and check out Moonday 2 weeks ago, because there was no Moonday last week, but the week before that. This is all very relevant, because this is like the transformational process after what we talked about. So now you see like the yin energy come in. We talked before about too much yang energy coming in, right? So now this is also making me feel like it's establishing new ground. Like we are being like, having this energy of stability, new stability coming in, where our root chakra may have had that upgrade or is still in the process of having an upgrade, and being realigned with that new matrix, or the new foundation as you ascend into that higher plane of consciousness. Okay. So big message this week. So and there's many different ways that it can play out, but again, having that awareness of Venus moving into Taurus, I think, is key. Okay. All right. Hi, Risa. Welcome, love. Thanks for being here. Lori, welcome. Anything that you all missed, Lenora, welcome as well. You can catch that back on the replay. Marianne, welcome. Thanks for being here. Flo, welcome, love. All right. So I think that was it. If I missed anybody else, if I missed any comments, please feel free to shoot them again. Sometimes I don't get to see them. If not, I always try to go back to the comments after the live is done and catch up on anything I might have missed. Yes, Karen, I know, right? I know you know what I'm talking about. All right. Lori says, yes, I'm on that new ground. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. And for those of you who are like, oh, I'm not there yet, I haven't seen, first of all, it's happening. All right. It's going to happen. We've got this whole month of April. That's now, we're just moving into the second half, the second portion, where Taurus, we're not even in the sign of Taurus yet. That's just one aspect of Taurus. Sun moves into Taurus, I think on the 19th, if I'm not mistaken. So, we're having all this, we've got a whole month of this yet. So no worries. We're all a process, a work in progress, if you will. So, everybody is on their own timeline, and everybody shifts and moves in their own alignment. So, those of you who are not there yet, it's okay. Things are happening, but remember, with this awareness now, you also have the keys to start also taking some steps toward, your dreams, your realities, and these things. So yes. Yes. Hey, Lynette. Welcome, love. Yes, divine timing for everyone because we're a collective. So what happens to you happens to me and vice versa. We're all moving together as one. So it's going to happen, but again, resisting, that can make the process be a little more difficult. Big changes. Yes, Laura. Yes, absolutely. Hey, Carmela. Welcome, love. Thanks for being here. I just wrapped up the Moonday message. Lots and lots of stuff came up today. So you want to catch that back on replay. But I'm going to go into the mudra now. But yes, Lori, good for you, dear. I'm so happy to hear it. Before I go into the mudra, I almost forgot, and that would have been terrible. Speaking of big changes and lots of endings for new beginnings, some of you may have already seen that I just realized for the first time last night that I happened to be going on my page for something, and I realized that it said when my page was established, and it was April 1st, 2012. And 2012 is the mirror it's the mirror year of 2021. So I was like, I didn't even know that. And that was 9 years ago. So 9, being a number girl, 9s are all about completion, achievement, successfully leveling up. So this is my Magical Me's 9-year anniversary. And that's big. That's really big. It's funny because I did not realize that it was 9 years already. And I never really pay attention to how many years I've been doing this. And I just blew my mind, So it was like, that's a big number for, I feel that, I feel like there's this new level that is about to happen and that I'm transitioning into. And, I have every intention of Magical Me continuously growing and evolving. And I just want to take the opportunity to say thank you to all of you because without all of you, I would not be as inspired. I would not be as empowered and able to do the work that I love without your support, without your love. So I really appreciate that because this is my baby. I left my job this year of 15 years to do this full time, and I couldn't be happier. And the growth that has occurred throughout these last 9 years, I tell people this story all the time. They look at me and they're like, no way. But one of my biggest fears in life ever since I was a kid was public speaking. And it is Magical Me that has provided that platform for me to face my fears head on. And to this day, I still get really scared. This is a lot easier than actually standing in a room full of people and having to talk. So that's still a little but just this has provided so much of, facilitating empowerment for me and just doing what it is that I love and just fearlessly speaking my truth and just sharing, and those who love it and like it, hear it and embrace it and it helps, and those who don't, it doesn't, and that's okay. But yeah, so thank all of you. I love all of you, and I love what I do, and I love that I'm able to do it. So with that said, I want to give something back because why not? And let's celebrate. So all month long for the rest of April, every moon day, for anybody tuning in live, I am going to intuitively choose to give some things away. So I'm going to be giving things away left and right this month on Moon Day, right? So definitely want to try to make it, but I'm only going to be doing it during the lives, okay? So with that said, I'm just going to kind of scroll through the comments, and then I'm just going to kind of just pause for a second, and I'm going to let Spirit send me names of who it is that's going to receive. What I'm going to be giving away today, though, is for those of you who were here in the beginning and heard me talk about my new meditation, I'm actually going to be giving that away today. If you have not heard me talking about it, when you go back on the replay, you'll catch it, you can catch it from the beginning. Also, I have it posted on my page. So my new meditation that I was guided to offer and record is called the Chamber of the Black Flame. It is a powerful journey and healing journey of death and rebirth. So I'm going to be giving that away today to 2 people. All right, so just kind of going to go through and intuitively see who spirit gives me, okay? I didn't want to waste time doing the whole like taking everybody's names down, putting them in a thing, or going through a contest. No, I just want to be able to give them away, so. Oh my goodness, I just got really dizzy. Okay, I think I just scrolled through. So just give me a moment. I'm just going to connect and see. All right, we have the 2 names. So Rosemaria Darris, you are one of the recipients, as well as Annie Littell, you are the 2nd recipient. So those of you who did not get to, your name get called today, please don't fret, don't get discouraged. Again, next Monday or, whichever day I'm able to do Moon Day, I will be giving away more again. So I'm going to be giving away readings, more of my meditation, and maybe even possibly some little courses or something. So yeah, just don't fret. There's going to be so much more to give away. So as long as you are open to receiving it, Rosemaria and Annie Littell, I'll be sending that over to both of you. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and and congratulations. And thank you all for your love and for your support, all of you. Let's go ahead and get into the mudra and see what comes forward. Okay. I got really, really dizzy too. So that was like, bam, when it came in. Whew. All right. All right, so I am working with a deck called Mudras for Awakening the 5 Elements by Alison D. Nicola. So now you don't need a deck to work with mudras, but I find that for a beginner, it's great to have a deck because even not for a beginner, it's great to just know what it is that wants to come forward for you and what it is that you are most energetically or physically in need of at this time. So that's why I work with the deck, but mudras are ancient. They've just been put onto a deck to kind of act like flashcards, like when you need something. But the word mudra itself is Sanskrit, which is an incredibly ancient language, believed to be one of the first languages on earth, also believed to be a form of light language. So mudra translates into the word seal. So it acts as kind of like an energy seal, or almost like, I always see it as like a wax seal. Like when you break the seal, it activates something, But each seal these seals are actually formed with your hands. Mudras are formed with your hands. So in your palms, you have chakras. In your fingertips, you have activators that are connected into the elements. So forming these seals with your hands, it enables you to be able to connect into and activate like an activation button, your energy centers known as your chakras. Now, each energy center rules over a different physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual component. Now, each chakra also is linked into your 4 main bodies, which are the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body, and your spiritual body. So working with mudras, it allows you to channel energy and your focus and intention directly into those energy centers. Now, each mudra that comes forward is associated with either 1 or more chakras. So you could be working with one mudra and it could be working with, many different chakras, which then will be working with many different areas of your energy body layers. So these are incredibly powerful. It allows you to channel this life force pranic energy into those energy centers, activating them, which then it enables you to be able to remove any energetic blockage within those energy centers or your energy bodies that would be the cause of any emotional discord, mental discord, even physical illness and discord. So it allows you to clear out those blocks, have that life force energy successfully, harmoniously flowing through all of your energy centers for eventual enlightenment, because they do actually help with expansion of your consciousness and awareness as well, and enlightenment. So very powerful. So powerful that sometimes they actually do come with a word of caution. Because if we pull a mudra that is connected into a physical area where you do suffer from a certain ailment, working with that mudra, it can essentially help that area, but not before it may cause some aggravation and irritation. So that's where the caution part comes in. So if there's a caution, I will let you know in advance. But a reason that I do this is to take the message that comes forward and not just hear it. But working with mudras allows us to apply the message through what comes forward, because usually whatever mudra comes up, it is connected directly into the message that we received in some way. So working with a mudra, it allows us to really facilitate the healing or the growth or ascension that's necessary for us all week long. So how I do it is I'll pull the card, I'll show it to you, we will do it together, and then I will post a picture of it on my page after the live is done. And that encourages you to be able to go over and save it to your phone or whatever device you watch on, and then work with the energy or the mudra all week long on your own, in your own time. Okay? All right, here we go. I see you all, some of you commenting, and I'm going to check over everything before I head out again, okay? So just bear with me. All right. So just asking for the mudra that wishes to come forward to facilitate what we most need as a collective for our highest and greatest good this week of April 12th, 2021. Oh, that's interesting. That's weird. There was a card mixed in with my mudra deck. That's not even a mudra. It's not even the same size. So I'm going to show it to all of you because it's important. So it's a 24, which is yet another 6. You just can't make this stuff up. And then the card is, I don't know how you pronounce this, if it's Caliano or Caliano, which is one of the stars in the Pleiadian constellation. And it says, the little star, divine, my inner child is whole and complete. Look at that. It's about healing that wounded inner child as well. So this week when we're working on that self-love, or, where we need to bring more love in, just be sure that you're also connecting in with your inner child, right? And those of you who are doing the Black Flame meditation, there is a part in that meditation where you have the potential to connect with a younger aspect of yourself. So, okay. Interesting for sure. I don't know how that even happened, but everything is divine, right? That's the name of the card, is divine. Our mudra, it is the Brahmara mudra, and it is breath. Look at that. So this assists with ease, boundaries, and immunity. Really interesting. Boundaries is interesting too, because I can see how that could play into the Venus and Taurus energy there, when we're establishing new boundaries, where we need to maybe enforce boundaries, maybe we need to let go some boundaries. But sacred boundaries actually has been coming up quite a bit this past week. So, learning that, loving yourself, it's okay to establish some boundaries, and establishing boundaries is honoring and loving yourself. So interesting. So this particular mudra relieves allergies. say that I was suffering from? Oh, interesting. Because I was going to say it has a third eye feel. Even though it's breath, it does have a third eye feel. Interesting. Relieves allergies and nasal congestion. Assists immune system. Opens and directs the breath to the head and sinuses. Perfect, Karen, isn't it? So both of us have been going through it. All right, so what we're going to do this together. For those of you who want to, you bring the tip of the index fingers to touch the base of the thumbs. All right, so tip of the index fingers to touch the base of the thumbs. Do this with both hands. And there is no caution, everyone, so we're good. Touch the tip of the thumb to the top of the middle finger. Okay, again, so point your finger, touch it at the base of your thumb, take your middle finger, touch the top of your thumb, okay? Rest and allow all the other fingers to extend outward. Okay, so they're supposed to look like that if you're holding it like this, but this, it doesn't work. I don't know why, but it's broke. It's not really broke, but it just doesn't do what it's told. So now I messed myself up. All right, so then you're going to rest the backs of your hands on your thighs, palms facing up, okay? Make sure you're doing it with both hands. Okay. You're going to close your eyes. Ooh, vertigo. Lynette said need this for vertigo. Interesting. All right. Karen. All right, everybody, you can close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And release. Again, nice deep breath in. And release. One more time, deep breath in. And release. And you can state, I sense and open to perfect balance and breath. I sense and open to perfect balance and breath. I sense and open to perfect balance and breath. And so it is. Okay. All right. So anybody who is new to working with mudras, and if you just participated with that, I just did 3 breaths at this time, but usually when working with mudras, you do breaths in increments of 3s. So starting with 3 today, and then let's say you want to work with this again tomorrow, maybe you want to increase your increments to 6. Maybe the day after you want to increase the breaths to 9, and there, so on and so forth. So working in those cycles of 3, all right? All right, everyone, thank you so very much for tuning in with me live, and those of you who are tuning on replay, thank you as well. Sending my love and blessings to all of you throughout the energy of this week, that everything be exactly as it is in alignment with your divine truth and divine love, okay? All right, take care, everybody. We'll see you next week.